Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome back to TIO Stadium in Darwin for the NAB AFL Under-18 All-Star match between Team Rioli and Team McLean. My name's Liz Cruz, and joining me in the commentary box, none other than the man with the golden tonsils up here in football in Darwin, Stu Davis, and six-time St Mary's Premiership player, Shannon Rioli. Welcome, fellas.
Thanks, Liz.
That's okay. I know you liked me calling you that, Stu, with the golden tonsils, but you're a fantastic football caller. Well, Shannon, you've just been in the change rooms with Team Rioli. How are they going down there, and what's the mood?
They're certainly up for the challenge. They're taking it very seriously. Their coach, Jason Rowe, certainly let them know that this is their one opportunity to showcase their talents with everything that's gone on around the world and around the country and in the football world. So he was really firm on saying, hey boys, this is your chance to shine and show what you got for the recruiters this year. So hopefully they do that.
And not only were you a six-time premiership player with St Mary's, but three times with NT Thunder, and you're a captain, so you of all people would know what it's like to pull on that territory jumper. How proud do you think some of these young men will be?
Yeah, they should be really proud, and that's something I tried to hammer home to them. For some of them, it might be the first time wearing the jumper, and for some of them, it'll be the last time wearing the jumper. So it's something that I was really fond of as a junior, playing in the juniors, and then, lucky enough to play a fair bit of footy in a Thunder jumper as a senior player. And now that is gone, it's something I hold very dear to my heart. So I hope these guys can go out there, and the one game they get to play in a Thunder jumper this year is a good one.
Well said. And Stu, just an amazing array of talent out there tonight. What sort of game do you think we'll see?
Well, I would hope that we'd see a pretty fast and open style of game and good skills. But, I think territory players are also renowned for the pressure that they can bring to the game as well. So there'll be plenty of that. And after a bit of sorting out, hopefully we'll see a bit of slick ball movement and be able to showcase the talent that we've got here tonight.
Well, of course, this game is being played so that obviously with COVID-19 there's a lot of travel restrictions. So we're playing this in the territory, or the state and territories have gone back to that format so that we can take a look at the draft talent. We've got people such as Joel Jeffrey, Brodie Lake and Morris Rioli Jr., Shannon, who's your cousin, who've all been invited to the draft, NAB AFL draft combine. So they'll be fantastic to watch tonight. Of course, Morris not playing because he's down at boarding school in Melbourne.
So a couple of jumper number changes, Liz.
That's right. We've got Joel Jeffrey. He'll be in number 24 tonight for Team Rioli. Switch with Jamie Jones, who's number 18, and they'll both be exciting to watch. So early on, and Joel, of course, is the son of Russell Jeffrey, a territory legend here in the NT, as we get underway here at TIO Stadium in Darwin.
So Josh Hollenby up high wins that first hit out, and ball comes in front of Deacon Braun here. Picks it up eventually, but he's tackled and the ball spills out. And now a kick forward by Brandon Rusker inside the forward line. On the end of this one's Nathaniel Cooper. Drives the ball in, looking for his teammate there, Ned Stevens, I think it was, but goes over his head and bounces out of bounds in the left forward pocket. So we'll have a boundary throw in.
Really fast start, just like you called for, Stu. Nice open play, quick transition, quick forward entry, and Nathaniel Cooper just missed with that fair bullet of a pass. Would have been a nice one to pull off, but we'll see how we go here.
So Braxton Armat doing the ruck work for Team McLean. Ball comes out of defence. Umpires almost got sandwiched between a couple of players there. Mark's been taken and claimed.
The umpire called play on, and Jalen Clark, I don't think he realised. Trying to claim the mark.
Wrapped up there by Elijah Kelly, so we'll have a ball up. Hollenby and Matt again do battle. No decisive winner there. Ball on the ground, not coming out cleanly at the moment. Plenty of bodies in there having a go at it. Now, eventually hoof off the ground, drives the ball forward, and now an opportunity as the hand pass comes backwards there from Jamie Jones, and on this grandstand wing, 2-on-1, but and the two win out. Kick inboard by Riley Stone. Liam Holt fits underneath that one. Hand pass forward by Marley McGregor. Jalen Clark, some clever work, avoids some tackles, gets the ball forward. Nicely taken forward there by Sean Foster. But again, no target hit inside 50, and the ball's wrapped up, and we'll have a ball up about 40 out from the Michael Long centre end.
Some really slick hands there by Sean Foster, number 25 for Team McLean. He comes from Pioneer Football Club down there in Alice Springs.
Free kicks paid and advantage. Hand pass over the top, and now the opportunity for Nathaniel Cooper to run with the ball. He has a bounce. Hand passes inside and finds his teammate there, Jack Perris. Jack Perris with the shot on goal, and looks good for the first goal of the game. So worked the ball really well out of defence there, and brought their teammates into the game, and a good finish by Jack Perris.
Yeah, Jack Perris, of course, comes from the Nightcliff Football Club, a very famous name down there at Nightcliff. There's many Perrises, and is the son of Nova Perris, of course. He attends boarding school interstate, but he's been back up in Darwin during COVID-19. How'd you see that, Shan?
Pretty good play there by Jack Perris, one I'm really looking forward to watching. I've heard some big raps on him recently. The son of two Olympians, and I think he's a national champion in the 200 and 400 metres. So good luck to anyone who's trying to catch him tonight. So not also good on the outside. I saw a stat on him that he had 20 plus tackles in a game for Melbourne Grammar last year. So we know he's lightning quick, but he uses that in defence as well as offence, which is good to see. So
Brodie Lake this time with his hands on the ball, drives forward. Joel Jeffrey down there wins the ball on the ground, tackled and gets his hand pass out, and the kick comes in deep into the goal square. A strong mark taken over the back there by Ned Stevens for Team Rioli, again going forward, and he'll take a shot from goal from about 15 out on a 45-degree angle. So a good strong mark over his opponent there.
Yeah, really good by Ned Stevens. He plays for Waratah Football Club up here in the NTFL. He's a good basketballer as well, and he's in the NT High Performance squad, and he played with the Gold Coast Suns Academy team last month. So another goal there to Team Rioli. So at the 4-minute mark, Team Rioli 2-0-12 lead McLean yet to score, Shannon.
Good feedback there. Quick deep entry, and Ned just had the box seat over a bit of a smaller opponent, got up high, and in what would be dewy conditions up here this time of the year, a bit of rain this morning, so no doubt there'll be a bit of wetness on the track to take a good overhead mark like that's good to see up here.
If anyone knows how to play on this surface, it's you, Shan Rioli. You've spent your whole life out there on TIO Stadium, so we'll be going to you for the expert comments tonight on the conditions.
So ball on the ground, quick hand pass forward by Alonzo Nelson. And again, Nathaniel Cooper underneath that one, holding the ball this time, and Harry Williams with the free kick kicks out wide, where his teammate runs under the ball now, chips forward, dropped off the chest there, but butters up well, and now Harry Williams again on the left foot this time, kicks inside forward. Tyson Woods on the end of that one. Hand pass comes across, and ball on the ground again. I've flicked out the back. Hopeful hand pass. A quick one back inside by Zach Hartley. And now it's Elijah Kelly who's caught with the ball. Plenty of bodies around this one, and we'll have a ball up deep inside forward 50 for Team McLean. Quick kick comes out. Mark almost taken there by James Quinn, but spilled out, and again plenty of numbers around the ball. So we're looking to get this one out, open the play up, and Hollenby again with the hit out, but still plenty of numbers around the ball. Need a quick kick out of there soon to open it up, Shannon.
Well, that's one of the things you also spoke about before the game, Stu, is that forward pressure that NT teams and NT players like to pride themselves on. So we're seeing a fair bit of that now. So hopefully, we can get back to that outside flary style of play that we like to see. But we're also seeing how good NT players can be defensively now in this patch of play.
So it was Shane Inkamala over the top one that hit out a high ball out of defence. Falls on the head of a few players. Off the ground, Liam Holt Fitz drives the ball towards the goal square, but good defensive work back there, and Team Rioli bring it out again. In and under on the contest there, Armat and Williams. Williams got the hand pass to Braxton Armat, and ball's worked out of defence by Peter Politis. And now there's a bit of space out there. Ned Stevens hand passes back inside. A chip kick forward, but just missed the target. Joel Jeffrey couldn't pick it up there. Working in hard underneath there was Tyrell Louis. Got the hand pass across off the ground. Joel Jeffrey, but didn't get the right angle on it, and he looks to have hurt himself there. He's having trouble standing up. I think he'll be all right. And a minus score for Team Rioli.
So not only is it Team Rioli, we've got the great Cyril Rioli out there as one of the runners tonight. Shannon?
I did see him sneak past as the Team Rioli boys were going out for a warm-up, so it'd be a pretty good experience playing the game today, but then to have Cyril telling you what to do, you'd certainly listen to everything he tells you what to do. So
absolutely, he does like to fly under the radar though, so he likes to keep it on the lowdown. But I know he's been down at training every week, and the young fellas are just loving having him down there.
So ball in the centre of the ground. Marley McGregor in there with Shane Inkamala. Ball spills into the hands of Liam Holt-Fitz. He bursts away with a bounce. Hand pass over the top, looking to get it back. He does now. Has a flying shot on goal. Keeps it low. But just dragged it across the goal face and through for a minor score. Bit of excitement out of the middle there from Liam Holt-Fitz, who, of course, is a former Cheney medal winner, best on ground in the grand final here a couple of years ago as a young fella.
Yeah, very good around goal is Liam, and I had him penciled in for that one once he got the feedback, but might just be those conditions and early on just not quite used to.
So we see Bo O'Connell working out of defence there, but ran into a brick wall in Marley McGregor, and the ball's worked out of bounds.
And of course the teams tonight, Team Rioli and Team McLean, with the coaches Jason Rowe coaching Team Rioli and Josh Heath coaching Team McLean.
So Stevens wins this hit out nicely down there. Kick comes forward from Shanton Ladd. Joel Jeffrey working underneath the ball. Picks it up cleverly now, gets a hand pass in outside. And Stevens again in there, ducks back inside, hand pass forward, finds Brady Lake. Lake dodges a couple, back towards Joel Jeffrey, who gets a kick round the corner. That's going to float out of bounds on the full, though, as he was bumped as he kicked the ball. Some good defensive work there by Jacob Long.
Getting into some really good spots there. Joel, he just hasn't quite probably got the end product that he wants or that we're used to, but hopefully it'll come for him, because I've seen him play some footy up here, and he is probably one of the most talented kids I've ever seen since the bloke you mentioned before, Liz, Cyril Rioli. He's a supreme talent, is Joel.
So Riley Stone brings that one inside forward 50. Ty Evans on the outside of the foot, but goes across the face of the goal and through for a minor score.
So at the 10-minute mark, we've got Team Rioli 2-1-13 leading Team McLean with just the one behind. And shout out to Michael Majo McLean. I know he's watching today. He couldn't be here tonight. So, but what a legend he is, Shannon, in NT football, and a great role model as well. He spoke to the players last night, and they were just thrilled to have him down at training.
Yeah, legend of top-end footy and in footy in Australia. Majo is, not just in the football, but also in the broader community with his work with Clontarf and the Stars Academies, helping young Indigenous boys and girls in schools. So certainly someone who's come back to the top end and given back to not just football but the community, and someone who's very highly respected. And I was lucky enough to play in a couple of flags with his son Mark at St Mary's there, and he was a very, very good footballer as well, just like his dad was.
And Majo looks like he can still play. He keeps himself pretty fit. Likes to get the guns out, Majo. I told him I was going to say that, so he'll enjoy that. I'll let you get back to calling, Stu.
So we've got a boundary throw in here between halfback and wing on the grandstand side. And Ned Stevens, some good body work in the ruck, follows up. And eventually it's Deacon Braun who gets a hand pass out the back there to Rusker. Rusker's quick kick forward. Liam coaches the first to it, taps it forward, and now an opportunity, but quick tackle and push in the backspin paid. So it's Shanton Ladd who will receive that free kick just outside 50. Looks forward and finds Joel Jeffrey on the lead in the right forward pocket there. Pretty deep up close to the boundary line. Be a pretty good shot at goal to score from there.
And of course, Joel plays for the Wanderers Football Club in the NTFL. He had a great season in the Men's Premier League despite being only 18, and played NT Thunder 18s and 16s, and he's in the high performance squad and trained with the Gold Coast Suns Academy team last month. He's a top draft prospect here in the NT.
So Joel Jeffrey shot on goal, looks pretty good, but just on the narrow side, and a minor score.
Big shout out to his sister Letitia. She's watching in Nhulunbuy tonight. She's out there for a tribute game, but she was captain of the women's team and captain of the Southern District's premiership winning team here in the NTFL in the last season.
So it's Team McLean working it out of defence, but losing control of the ball there was Sean Foster. Ball comes back inside the centre square. And it's Deacon Braun again for Team Rioli. Sees Jeffrey on the lead, and strong lead, beautiful delivery, and he marks about 45 out on a slight angle and looks pretty confident. Goes back, he'll take the shot, and he is a beautiful kick of the ball, Shannon.
He's been dangerous without being damaging just yet. I reckon, like you said, Stu, he might just need this one for the confidence. He'd be one of the top disposal getters on the ground, I reckon, and that's coming from centre forward. So if you can just get this one, I reckon he'll get up and about, and we'll hopefully see him have a bit more impact in the game as well.
So kicking from just inside 50, it's going to be close to the goal line, but he's measured that pretty well, straight through the middle, and another goal on the board for Team Rioli through Joel Jeffrey, and as you said, Shannon, starting to really exert some influence on the game up forward there.
You spoke about his goal kicking, Stu, and he's one who, a lot of guys, they get the footy in their hand, especially on a set shot, they get a bit nervous, they look to pass it off. He's one who he'll get the footy, and as we saw from before, he'll take a shot on from anywhere, left or right foot. You know, all types of kicks, snaps, drop punts, check sides, he's got it in his game, and he's one who, yeah, if he gets up and about, he could really get this game by the scruff of the neck.
So at the 14-minute mark, Team Rioli 3-3-21, leading Team McLean 1 behind.
So Paris gets the clearance there with a hand pass. Ball comes forward, and it's Bo O'Connell on the end of this one outside of 50, looking to square the ball in towards centre half forward, but that one's chopped off by Marley McGregor for Team McLean at centre half back. He looks to bring the ball to the grandstand side now, but that one hasn't reached his teammate, and it's marked by Riley Stone for Team Rioli. He's got a loose down here, but he wants to go longer than that and drives it deep, looking for Ned Stevens. The ball spills over the back. Stevens is in there again, picks up, ducks around on the left foot, quick shot at goal. Had a teammate there, he couldn't get his hands on the ball, and it's trickled through for a minor score again. But Team Rioli dominating on the scoreboard, had most of the play, most of the forward entries, and Team McLean just need to settle, get their hands on the ball a bit and work the ball forward. Michael Cooper on the end of this one within some space, and he plays on now with a bounce. Kicks long towards the outer wing. Ball comes to ground, and cleverly done there by Ryan Moo. And now a quick kick forward, and here's a chance for Team McLean, but the chip across is misdirected and chopped off there by Riley Stone, getting a bit of the ball early in this game. Picked up down there by Tyson Woods, but stripped out of his hands, and the ball now spills free. Rusker on the end of this one drives it forward for Team Rioli, and it's marked down here by Shanton Ladd in front of the grandstand. He goes short and finds his teammate there in Alonzo Nelson.
So Shanton Ladd, as we were saying in the last game, he hails from Barunga, Stu. So good effort to come up from Barunga for the game.
Terrific, and ball went forward, but it's chopped off in defence by Brock Reynolds. Reynolds has a free player out there in Moo. Moo in space, picks up, has a bounce, looks forward, has a player on the lead and hits that target. That's Josiah Minor on the end of that one, takes a mark on the outer side, drives the ball in deep and long, but goes past all players there and bounces out of bounds next to the behind post at the Michael Long centre end.
Well, the captains tonight are Brandon Rusker for Team Rioli and Liam Holt-Fitz for Team McLean. Brandon, of course, another famous name in Northern Territory football, the son of Robbie and nephew of Shannon, who's been a stalwart of Territory footy up here in the top end. And Liam Holt-Fitz, as we said, won the Cheney medal in that grand final, Shannon. So 2 more future talents on the radar for the NT as we see the ball come out again.
Yeah, Brandon Rusker played a fair bit of senior footy last year with NT Thunder and got better every game, so hopefully he's one who'll go on to bigger and better things. It's a shame what happened this year and he couldn't get anywhere to play some state footy, but hopefully he'll get something out of tonight, or if not going forward, he'll get an opportunity somewhere to further his footballing career.
So boundary thrown quick forward by Tyrell Martin and taken there by Nathaniel Cooper. He plays on straight away, and Sandy Brock going to be the first to this one. If he can pick it up cleanly, he's got a teammate running inside. The hand pass goes behind him, but he's got another backing up behind him, and great tackle in the middle there. So Team Rioli had the numbers, just couldn't use the ball effectively, and Stuart Hodgson there, some great defensive work, but his kick's not the best, and it's chopped off there by Brody Lake. He plays on wide here, looking for his captain in Rusker. The ball's going to run away from him. He tries to keep it in, but not able to do so, and Lake might have been better served going a bit more direct down the ground than Shannon.
Yeah, especially with these slippery footies. It's humid enough as it is, and a bit of dew across the deck, but the yellow footies are a bit slipperier under lights, and you get a bit of moisture on them. They're pretty hard to hang on to. So I was just going to comment on how a few of the bigger guys like Joel Jeffrey, Ned Stevens and Sean Foster for Team McLean are 3 of the bigger guys out there, but they're handling the conditions very well. One grabbing the footy, and they're all getting amongst it early for their teams.
Stevens in there again in the ruck. Oh, some clever work. Hand pass comes out here to Woods. He gets it across to Williams. And coming in strongly there was Alwyn Davey, but carried the ball over the line.
One of the more experienced umpires in Darwin, in Mark Noonan out there. I think he's umpired about 400-odd games, Stu. Great to see him out there too. Yeah,
evergreen, isn't he? He keeps himself fit and keeps going and does a great job. Again, strong contest over the ball. Woods gets his toe to that one, but we've got a free kick here called by umpire Noonan, and it's going to Team McLean. It's Liam Coach. Coach has a player in the middle, sees him, tries to hit him up, but it trickles past and picked up by Quinn. Fortunately for Team McLean, ball's inside forward 50 now, and an opportunity for them to get their first goal on the board. Hand pass comes across, but plenty of pressure in defence. Ball comes out here to John Tipalura, who had a snap round the corner, but offline, unfortunately, and a minor score. And brought in quickly by Team Rioli out of defence, and Kobe Russell drives the ball long towards the wing, but sitting under that one was Liam Coach, who's had a few touches early, kicks the ball back in towards centre half forward. Jalen Clark runs back with the flight of it, but his teammate got there first, and now Matthew Cantilla over the ball, but he's swamped by 3 yellow jumpers. Managed to get the hand pass out to Peter Politis, and the ball's worked forward now where Nathaniel Cooper drives it forward. Just 2 people in the forward 50, 1 from each team, Joel Jeffrey and Tyrell Louis, teammates at Wanderers, of course. Joel Jeffrey gets his toe to the ball, but it goes through for a minor score.
I think Tyrell's crossed to Palmerston this season, is that right, Shannon?
I saw that announced yesterday on the Palmerston Facebook page. Yeah, really good get for them with everything that's going on around the rest of the country. For local clubs to be securing good local talents, a good place to start, and Palmerston have done that really well so far. One I just want to touch on is Nathaniel Cooper, number 6 for Team Rioli. He's been quite lively early, probably got 3 or 4 inside 50s already. Younger brother of a teammate of mine, Justin Cooper, who's won a few flags at Saint, so good to see Nathaniel playing some good footy tonight.
One of the 4 Cooper brothers from Croker Island.
Some really clever working the ball out of defence there, but unfortunately the kick inside 50 went astray. And now a chance for Braxton Armat. Gets the hand pass across. Kick around the corner from John Tipalura. But it again, strong in defence for Team Rioli, and the ball's worked out. O'Connell's on the end of this one. Some clever footwork. Avoids a couple of players. Gets a hand pass inside to the teammate. Now it's worked outside again. And a long kick down towards half forward. The ball spills over the back. Foster again doing plenty of work and runs with the ball this time. Kicks to his teammate who couldn't take the mark, Josiah Minor. And Team Rioli, another chance to go forward. There's that man Cooper again at centre half forward. Picks up and kicks in, looking for Jeffrey. Jeffrey looked to have been dragged on the arm there, and the umpire's seen it that way, and Joel Jeffrey will take the free kick about 25 out, pretty much directly in front, kicking for his second goal.
Yeah, young Nathaniel Cooper again, just getting a nice little inside 50. Smart kick there. Saw Joel had eyes on him, and the defender, Tyrell Louis, had his back to the play, so he just dropped it in there for Joel to come forward towards the footy, and Tyrell, obviously with his eyes on the man, had to give the free kick away to give himself a chance, or not give a free kick away, but tried to stop Joel, and unfortunately for him, he's infringed, and we'll see how Joel goes.
So he kicked one from a fair bit further out than this one just before, and no problem whatsoever. This one straight through the middle, and the fourth goal on the board for Team Rioli, and Team McLean yet to get a goal on the board. But Nathaniel Cooper, he's plenty of pace, getting plenty of the ball, but also really composed, Shannon, and spots up his teammates and avoids the pressure from the opposition. Been really impressive so far.
Yeah, I've heard a coach say sometime in the past, you've got players who can find space, and you've got players who can create space, and that's what Cooper's been able to do for himself tonight. And is that him moved on ball now? Is that in the
yes,
middle there?
He is gone into the middle.
Yep. See how he goes here.
Yeah, well, he goes to boarding school in Gove, so he's come in on that flight to play in this game. So hello to everyone out there in Gove that's watching. Give us a shout out on the Facebook page on the live stream as the umpire tosses it up. We've just got about 2 minutes to go in this quarter, Stu.
So there is Cooper, slung in the tackle, gets his hand pass forward. He's on the end of the punch forward again, and again evades a player. Sees a teammate out wide, and that's Cantilla. Cantilla takes the ball now. Drives in low towards Bo O'Connell. Fumbles on the first occasion, but butters up well. Goes one way, then the other. Sees a player forward and hits up that target. Beautifully done. Finding his teammate there in Alwyn Davey. Davey kicks long towards the goal square. A couple of players there and a strong mark over the back. Ned Stevens again. He's lost his boot taking that mark. And if he puts that on, it'll run the clock down to quarter time, I would think.
I think so. Well, Alwyn Davey, obviously a famous name in territory footy as well. It's Alwyn Jr. out there, the son of Alwyn Froggy Davey Sr., who played for Essendon, and he goes to boarding school in Melbourne, but back here during COVID-19 as we see that kick not quite go where he wanted it to, and it's been marked there by Team McLean.
Tyrell Louis back there having an interesting duel with Joel Jeffrey. Had a few touches himself, but Joel's been pretty damaging. So certainly not disappointed with the standard of footy in the first quarter, Shannon. When the ball's got on the outside, it's really zipped around, and there's been some good pressure on the inside as well. Yeah,
both sides certainly going in hard, and like we spoke about before, this is their one opportunity to showcase their wares for the recruiters down south and the clubs. So they're certainly doing that, and it's not all doom and gloom for Team McLean, even though I might be going for Team Rioli. But they've had their moments. I think they're just missing that cutting edge up forward, but they've defended quite well. They're winning their fair share of the footy, especially towards the second half of that quarter. So hopefully we'll see a bit more of Team McLean, because they certainly have some quality players that we've spoken about who can do some damage on a night like tonight.
Absolutely, Shannon. Well, we'll take a really quick break at quarter time. Team Rioli 4-5-29 lead Team McLean 2 behinds.
And we Alright, we're just a few moments away from the second quarter of footy here at NAB Stadium. Can we please clear the field of play so we're ready to get on to the next quarter? That's a great first quarter of footy there from the boys. Rioli 4-5-29 to a 0 McLean 2.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium in Darwin for this very special night of Friday night footy with the NAB AFL Under-18 All-Star match between Team Rioli and Team McLean. Well, Shannon Rioli, we've got you here. What do you think the coach of Team McLean might say, Joshy Heath, out there after Team Rioli's good start?
I think we've seen enough out of Team McLean to suggest that they can put up a good fight, especially in the conditions where it's a bit scrappy. They've got some quick guys. They've got some guys that have got a bit of Premier League experience. They've got some bigger bodies, but someone like number one, their captain Liam Holtz-Fitz is a grand final best on ground up here in the NTFL Premier League with Nightcliff, and he's one to watch, and hopefully he'll get more of the footy. Sean Foster has had a really good start. There's a bloke by the name of Jacob Long running around out there for them. If he can get his confidence up and get into the game, he'll give them plenty of drive off half back. And they've got Harry Williams, is a super fit, competitive young guy who's come across to St Mary's from Nightcliff, he'll give them some real drive now that I see he's gone into the midfield. So we'll see if they can get some goals on the board and get things going their way.
And their runner out there, Anthony Bellagio, who is the coach of St Mary's in NTFL, so he'll be giving some good advice on the bench there for Team McLean as we look to get underway here in the second quarter. Team Rioli 4-5-29 leading Team McLean 2 behind. Stu?
Yeah, just waiting to get started again. Ned Stevens again in the ruck for Team Rioli. Has had a pretty impressive start to the game. Gets up over the top of Armat this time. Beautifully done by Brody Lake to win that clearance, but unfortunately his kick was just astray and chopped off down there by Marley McGregor, a premiership player for Nightcliff last season.
Brody Lake should be in some form. He's been down in Adelaide playing for
Central Districts,
so. Yeah, he was over in Perth with Peel Thunder prior to that, and obviously he plays for Southern Districts, where he's a very good player, and he'll be on the draft radar as well.
So James McLaughlin with the free kick drives the ball towards the outer wing there, picked up by Shane Inkamala, kicks the ball high, and that's easily punched away by Antonio Jones. But kick comes forward, or Inkamala again. A high ball inside 50. Foster getting underneath this one. Couldn't take the mark under pressure from Jamie Jones back there. Jones has had a pretty good start to the game as well, with some cut-off marks in defence, but a throw's been called here and a chance for Team McLean to threaten the goal again. Ball comes in long. Foster getting underneath this one and almost took that mark against two opponents, but Brody Lake it is, wins the ball out and drills that one out of defence. Looking there for Jack Perris, couldn't hold on to the mark, and now Team McLean again, but handball's loose and picked up out here by Mishai Woolagarang, and now it's Cantilla in there Hand pass comes across from Mishai Woolagarang again, out in front of Nathaniel Cooper. Cooper's tackled and his hand pass misses the target, and now his numbers around the ball again. It spills out to Cantilla. He flicks a hand pass across the top, punch forward, but spills out now, and a quick kick forward by Cantilla. Aerial contest there, and it's Tyrell Louis working hard in defence again. Waiting on the whistle. I think it's out of bounds, so we'll have a boundary throw in. So yeah, Louis on Joel Jeffrey. Joel's kicked a couple of goals and looked dangerous, but Tyrell's had his moments as well in defence.
I think Tyrell, was he part of the National Academy as well? I think he might have done some training at the
he was, Tyrell.
High level of under-18s National Academy, so
yep.
These two no doubt spent a lot of time playing and training alongside each other, so that'll be an interesting match-up, and it'll be interesting to see what they're saying to each other when the ball's away from them.
Yeah, Tyrell, I was saying in the break, Tyrell and Ned Stevens played in the top end Storm team down in Alice Springs, which was the curtain raiser last year to the AFL game, and they were just 16 or 17 and did a great job then in a senior game.
So Marley McGregor streaming out there, got legged, and he'll take the free kick.
Been solid, Marley. Good size, 50 metres there, unlucky for the bloke trailing his man, so we'll see how Team McLean go in attack. Marley got a few targets down there. Foster's calling for it. Looks like he's going to him.
Yeah, he's got a bit of space, but
Foster needs to get in
again,
front.
jumping in there, Jamie Jones, good defensive work. And pass comes out. And Brandon Rusker swings around and kicks the ball out, but it's chopped off and driven straight back in for Team McLean, and sitting underneath this one, the mark's taken. Is that Woods down there?
I think it is.
Just waiting for him to turn around. No, it's not. In fact, it's Josiah Minor who's taken that mark. There's a few of them with some colourful hairstyles.
I was just thinking Marley looks different to last year's grand final. He had the peroxide blonde hair. As we see that kick go, just missed to the right.
Bit of Marby or Chol about that hairstyle there on Minor, the red side mohawk, whatever you call it.
There's a few mullets, and Jalen Clark's even got a kind of man bun ponytail going on there. So they like their hairstyles, the young fellas these days.
So Jamie Jones brings it in, but Marley McGregor again underneath this one takes a good contested mark, and he'll look to drive Team McLean forward again. There's plenty of numbers inside 50. That's not his best effort off the boot, and chance now run out of defence by Elijah Kelly. Took a bounce, now kicks long forward. Hollenby underneath that one couldn't take the mark, but strong out of defence. Jacob Long drives the Team McLean forward again. Jalen Clark underneath this one, doing battle with Antonio James. Clark wins that contest, gets a hand pass inboard. Quinn in there gets it back, and now the kick comes in towards the goal square. That battle again between Sean Foster and Jamie Jones, and Jamie Jones is doing a pretty good job down there, getting his fist to the ball and not allowing Foster to get any easy marks as the ball comes in. Chip out of defence finds Alwyn Davey, and he settles things down a bit now, plays on, looking to come towards the grandstand side of the ground, and looking for Joel Jeffrey there, but again Marley McLean chopping in to take Marley McGregor, to take that intercept mark, and hands it off to Louis, and a strong mark again here by Minor. Miner's gone the barrel on the left foot. It's going to go too far though, and out on the full in the forward pocket.
I think what's happening now with Team McLean is they're at a bit of a disadvantage. I think Team Rioli, being the under-18s team, has spent a bit more time together training as a group, the Darwin-based players, whereas Team McLean, we've got quite a few remote guys in that lineup and a few of the older guys who maybe weren't training with the under-18s academy. So I think their chemistry is just starting to come together now, and you can see they're getting a bit more link-up play, whereas Team Rioli might have had that advantage in the first quarter, but now that Team McLean have worked their game out a bit, they're starting to get themselves into it. I think they've had all the play so far this quarter.
Yeah, so John Tepalura, this is on the end of that pass inside 50 by Harry Williams. Just put it in the space, allowed allowed Tipalura to run onto it, and now he'll take the set shot from right on 50, basically. Kicks on its way now. That's not going to be a goal. It'll just scrape in for a minor score. So they're getting plenty of the ball, unable to get goals on the board, unfortunately, and Jamie Jones runs out of the goal square and kicks that one wide, and the opportunity there for Tyrell Martin. And but again, it's Team McLean with pressure around the ball, working the ball forward, and picked up and tackled there as the ball spills out. And now an opportunity, perhaps this time as the ball goes high towards the goal. Looks pretty good, and the goal umpire says yes, that's a goal. And so a terrific finish there. I didn't pick up who it was. It
was number 21, Leroy Jones.
Yeah, a good finish. And
down in the Barclay region there, the Elliott Hawks player.
So some reward for some of the work, some of the possession that they've had in the first quarter. Just look on the replay here. The ball came out and he got on the end of it. Leroy Jones hooked it around the corner, and that's a good finish. Yeah,
really young player. He's only 16, I think, Leroy. As you said, Shannon from the Elliott Hawks, so a great goal there. Team Rioli 4-5-29, leading Team McLean 1-5-11 at the 8-minute mark of this second quarter.
So we're underway again. We've got a whistle here from umpire Noonan outside the square. It's a holding free kick. Harry Williams will take this one, and is looking to drive the ball along straight down the middle of the ground. Goes past a number of players. Foster with evasive work, hooks around on the left foot, but he's just swung that a bit too far. And so, yeah, as you said, Shannon, Team McLean really starting to dominate the field play now, but just can't convert it on the scoreboard at the moment.
Harry Williams has been a key to that, Shan.
Yeah, been super impressed with Harry. Lucky enough to have him move over to my NTFL club, St Mary's, but one of the top runners, and he's a good physical specimen. Plays a bit of basketball as well as Harry, so I think he's a pretty good footballer the way he's going tonight as well.
So Paris with the hand pass inboard to O'Connell, over the top to Braun. Deacon Braun was through the hands there of Ty Evans, and gives Braxton Armat the opportunity to hit up Jalen Clark going forward. Still outside 50. He's looking for a teammate further afield, but that's a good intercept mark taken there by Tyrell Martin for Team Rioli. Martin goes straight down the ground looking for Hollenby. Bounces off his chest, but he manages to wrap up and get the hand pass across. Zach Hartley's kick, looking for Peter Politis out there. Politis gets his hands on the ball now and kicks further afield looking for Nathaniel Cooper, but he's under a bit of pressure from Tyson Woods, and the ball goes out of bounds. Tyson Woods there from Alice Springs. Shannon also played a game for Thunder last year, and played one game and one winning game, I think, down in Alice Springs.
Should have played him a bit more then, shouldn't we?
Well, Shannon, there's a huge crowd in here at TIO Stadium tonight, just having a look around, which is fantastic. We've obviously missed our footy up here in Darwin.
Yeah, I was walking up to come and take my seat up here with you guys, and yeah, there was a bit of a crowd rolling in, which is good to see. And when you've got your best young talent from across the territory playing, why not come and watch it?
Cantilla takes that mark, goes in forward, and that's a beautiful pass. Joel Jeffrey again on the lead. And not much the defenders can do to stop that one. It was a bullet pass, and he was out of the blocks early on Tyrell Louis, and he'll go back and take another set shot at goal. So Joel Jeffrey, 2 goals on the board already. Been busy, not so much this quarter. The ball hasn't been down there so much, but has an opportunity now. Kicking for his third from not much more than 30 metres out, I would think. And we've already seen that he's a capable set shot kick. This one's on the way. Goal umpire's doing a bit of work to the outer side, and he's missed that one to the right, unfortunately. So only the minor score. And quick kick in comes to Tyrell Louis in the back pocket. Chips it back into the goal square. Jacob Long back to where he started, and A 50-metre penalty will help them get it out of defence pretty well.
That's the second 50-metre penalty this quarter, Stu.
Yeah, just a bit overzealous on the mark there. I think it was Ned Stevens, was it, or was it Hollenby? But, yeah, just obviously jumped over the mark. And Long, as usual, finds a teammate on the outer side, and it's Brock Reynolds this time. He kicks inboard to Leroy Jones, kicker of the last goal, but his kick's chopped off here by Ned Stevens. Oh, well tackled, but managed to get the hand pass out to his teammate up there in Shanton Ladd. Kick comes inside 50, and working hard back there. Brock Reynolds gets it over to Leroy Jones, tries a bounce, but now has the opportunity to chip it back inboard, and Marley McGregor's there, and he's looking for players out wide on the grandstand side as the ball's switched around now. And kick comes in here, slips over the back, and the chance for Team McLean, nicely picked up by Harry Williams, chips it inboard, another good kick, and he finds Josiah Minor once again.
That's the second clean pick-up by Harry Williams on that wing right there.
50.
As a 50-metre penalty's paid, but that's super impressive to keep doing that so cleanly and get the ball to his teammate.
The big fellas have been pretty impressive with their work below their knees tonight, which is making a bit of a goose of what I said about the conditions, but it just shows you how used to the conditions these guys are up here, so good to see.
So Josiah Minor's had a couple of opportunities. Let's hope he's a bit closer in this time, and he just steps out and hooks it around a bit, but he's finished this one nicely straight through the middle, and he's really working his way into the game and been dangerous across half forward, and with Harry Williams delivering to him, it's really brought Team McLean right back into the game with the only two goals of this quarter going their way.
Absolutely. So Josiah Minor, he's plays for Feddies down there, Federals in the CAFL and the Papunya Football Club. So it's fantastic to see that Central Australian talent on display up here tonight. We know they had all their grand finals last weekend at the 14-minute mark. Team Rioli 4-6-30, lead Team McLean 2-6-18 here at TIO Stadium in Darwin.
So, interesting setup here in the centre circle, Shannon. I think one of the teams... No, there's four each in the middle there, but obviously the setup's not right somewhere. But all the players on one side of the circle, apart from the ruckman. The ball goes forward. And a quick kick out of there by Tyson Woods. It's 2-on-1 down here, but there's a whistle on it, and the one will win it. It's Liam Holt-Fitz, who drives the ball straight down the ground, and his teammate found some space but spilt the mark there. That was Malachi Portolano. The ball comes out and rebounds out, and Deacon Braun has a player running with the ball here, takes the contact and hand passes off to Cantilla. Cantilla looking for Jeffrey, who juggled it, not paid.
Play on.
And just juggled it, and ball hit the ground, and playing was the call, and we'll have a ball up as Jeffrey works his way back towards the goal square. Harry Williams in there for Team McLean, and Brody Lake for Team Rioli, but it's Jones again in defence. Wins that ball, gets the hand pass inboard, and a nice little chip inside by Alonzo Nelson, but his teammate's under a bit of pressure there, but well worked. And Zach Hartley chips it out to Kobe Russell. Kobe Russell sees Bo O'Connell down at half forward, and that's a good pass. Hits him on the lead out in front. O'Connell, a long low kick in towards the goal square. It's 3-on-1 back there, and the numbers should win out, but some support comes in now. Hand pass comes across, and it's Coach again with a quick kick out. Sitting under this one is Foster. Couldn't take the mark, and now he's tackled and dumped to the ground, and bodies flying everywhere in there, and eventually we'll have a ball up about 20 out straight in front of the goal at the Michael Long Centre end of the ground.
It was good to see Bo O'Connell in there, of course, our reigning NTFL Nichols medalist, the youngest player to win the Nichols medal since your Uncle Willie Rioli Sr., Shan. He was just 18. Yeah,
father of Willie Jr., who's at the West Coast. But yeah, Bo's another one of those super talented players, and certainly in the last 12 to 18 months has, probably realised that talent isn't all it's going to need to get him there, and he's certainly worked himself in a really good state of fitness, and as an 18-year-old won the league medal up here in the NTFL from a side that didn't do so well in the comp as well. It was even more impressive, so hopefully we'll see a lot more of him tonight as the game goes on.
Deacon Braun drops that one across the outside of his foot, but kicked it across the face and line a score.
I was super impressed by the maturity Bo O'Connell showed in last year's NTFL season, and his speech at the Nichols Medal was fantastic, and he's taking his football really seriously after being such a great junior and taking that step up to senior levels.
Yeah, I think he won the Abala medal,
He did,
the under-18 league medal not long ago as well.
And
so
the premiership, Simon Bates coached them to that premiership, so yeah.
So O'Connell won that one out, and it eventually finished with Lake. His kick goes over the top, charts off the ground. Ned Stevens, and did that cleverly. So moved the ball quickly. Bo O'Connell heavily involved in that play, set it up, and Brady Lake's kick in, went over the back, and Ned Stevens, pretty aware of what was going on around him, got his foot to the ball and kicks his second goal.
Yes, the Waratahs will be happy that Ned's in some good form ahead of round one of the NTFL season next weekend. So almost at the 18-minute mark of this quarter, and Team Rioli, their first goal for this quarter, 5-7-37, lead Team McLean 2-6-18. Shannon.
Smart play there by Ned, just to keep the footy alive. Knew the tackle was coming. Knew also in the slippery conditions that the tackle was probably going to fall off, so just kept the footy in front, and with those long legs of his, able to get a toe on it and get his second goal.
So the restart here, and chance for Team Rioli. Hand pass comes inboard from Alwyn Davey to Nathaniel Cooper, drives the ball straight down the ground. Ned Stevens there again, keeps his feet, picks up and snaps around the corner, but just on the near side, missed for another minor score. So they're getting the opportunities now, but the contest really evened up with Team McLean starting to string some passages of play together and looking threatening. That looks like a high tackle, and it is. And Ryan Moo wins that free kick. The ball's kicked forward, spills over the back. First one back to it is Elijah Kelly. Works it to his teammate. Coming in there is Davey. Davies hand pass across to Antonio James. He kicks the ball forward along the ground inside 50. The ball's overrun there. Tyrell Louis working back. Picks up under a bit of pressure on the left foot, kicks across goal, hasn't really got a target out there, and it looks like Jack Peris will be first there. Toes it forward, now goes in and tries and pick it up, but he's under plenty of pressure, and good defensive work back there by Stuart Hodgson. But again, the ball spills out, quick kick forward. Ned Stevens on the end of this, but under pressure, lays a tackle and wins the free kick. So Brock Reynolds probably a bit unlucky there. He was working hard over the ball, but got tackled and spilled out. A quick kick in. Play on's the call. And I think Alonzo Nelson thought he had a mark there and could have a shot on goal, but play on was the call. He got tackled, it spilled out, and he was penalised.
How's the airtime on that?
Huge leap out there. That was Shane Inkamala. He couldn't take the mark, unfortunately, and another holding the ball free kick here. So
you don't see that too often. Ryan Moo chased down. He's one of the fastest players in the NTFL, Shannon.
You look at the bloke who caught him, though. He's just taken after his old man, Alwyn Davey Jr. Probably not one to take on if you're anyone playing against him. So, yeah, unlucky for Ryan Moo. He's one of the blokes who I haven't seen him tackled too much before, but if you got the name Alwyn Davey, you're a pretty good chance of getting him, I reckon, and he did.
Yeah, Froggy still playing senior footy, Elwyn Senior, and of course Uncle Aaron played for Melbourne Demons as well, and is another territory footballer.
Both of them inducted into the Hall of Fame this year?
They were last year. Gosh, I don't know what year it is. Last year, at the end of last year, yeah, they were the AFL&T Hall of Fame, which was a great night at Sky City Casino. So Aaron and Alwyn, and of course Alwyn Jr. has a twin brother, Jaden. So I think he might be injured. I think he did
bumped
something.
into Alwyn Senior just as I was making my way up here, and he said, he's coming back from an ACL. So unfortunate for us that we don't get to watch him tonight, but hopefully for Jaden, he'll get his chance to showcase his talent sometime in the future. They're Dad played 100 games at Bombers, so
Yep.
I'm sure Bombers fans will be wanting them both to end up there at some point in the future.
And they're identical twins, which makes them hard to work out which one's which, just like Dad Elwyn
yep.
and Uncle Russie, of course, who plays for Palmerston and is the president down there at Palmerston Magpies.
So Malachi Portolano kicks back inside here. But, under plenty of pressure there was Ryan Moo. He got hit pretty hard. Some clever evasive work. Sean Foster has the shot on goal, and that's a good finish, and some reward for Sean Foster, who's been pretty impressive tonight. He's been in a lot, just around the ball a lot, just hasn't been able to get the clean possessions that he'd be looking for, but he's looked pretty impressive when the ball's been in his area, Shannon.
Good size, 190 centimetres. We've got him listed as here, Stu, and with the Pioneers Football Club, who lost the grand final last week down in the CAFL in Alice Springs, but doesn't seem to be bothering Sean too much. He's having a really good game at the moment, and like we spoke, one of those big guys who's mixing it in the air as well as he is on the ground, and certainly doing his bit for Team McLean.
Well, just quickly, Shannon, your cousin Maurice Rioli Jr. is not playing tonight because he can't get up because of the travel ban. What's he doing with his footy down in Melbourne?
He's with his host family, the Suttles. They've taken him in over the last couple of years. Their sons go to Scotch with Morris, and they've taken him in, and he's been pretty spoilt going down to the old holiday house at Anglesea to get away from Melbourne. But he's been training with another boy who's boarding at Scotch College, Jamara Ugle-Hagan, who's been tipped as the #1 draft pick. So pretty good company for Morris to have down there with him. He's been doing some training with Richmond. I'm assuming before the COVID stuff all took over down there, but he was training with Richmond down there. He had a really good season for us last season in the NTFL for St Mary's. Had probably a best on-ground game in the semi-final to put us into the grand final last season, and hopefully, I'm sure Richmond fans will be excited at him hopefully joining the club, but he's also got Fremantle, I believe, who may be in the race, so we'll see where Morris ends up, but he's enjoying his time down there, finishing year 12, which is something that's been a real focus of him. So, football's always there for him, but it's good that he's got an opportunity to go to Scotch College in Melbourne, and we'll see how he goes this year.
One of the things that's always impressed me about Morris, I've known him for a few years, is he's got such a mature head on his shoulders, and he's just a really thoughtful, humble kid. And, of course, younger sister Maria played in the game before this as well, and she was impressive. She's only 15 or 16, Shan?
Yeah, she's another one probably to look out for Richmond fans as well, under the father-daughter rule I believe they have in place with the AFLW. She grew up playing football against Morris and Daniel Rioli's younger brother Braden, who's a good footballer, so she used to play football against them, and from all reports over there, she used to beat them, so she's definitely one to watch. And here we go, Team McLean, another shot on goal. They've certainly impressed this quarter.
Yeah, Terence Miller on the end of that one. Jalen Clark involved at half forward, and the ball came forward, and Miller running with the flight of the ball, took it coming over his shoulder, and a chance to bring those scores closer, and no problem whatsoever from about 20 metres out, and that'll be just about it for this quarter, but they've really evened the game up in this quarter, and we've got a real contest on our hands, and seen some good footy. And as I speak, there goes the siren to end the quarter. So a timely goal for Team McLean to bring the margin back to 8 points at half time.
Yeah, well, that was Terence Miller from the Groot Island Stingrays, and isn't he a long way from home? So hello to everyone watching from Groot Island tonight. They run a really good program over there for such a small place. So at half time, Team Rioli 5-8-38, lead Team McLean 4-6-30. Shannon, just really quickly, your best on in that quarter obviously would have to come from Team McLean.
Yeah, Harry Williams early on really got that momentum going for him. Ryan Mood towards the end of that quarter finished well. Marley McGregor in the middle of that quarter did well. And Sean Foster's been very dangerous. And we also spoke about, I believe it was Minor. Yeah, he's looking dangerous. So good to see their good players getting into the game. So hopefully they can keep that up and we can get a really good game tonight.
Well, we'll take a short break and we'll be back after half time. Well, welcome back to TIO Stadium in Darwin for the second half of the NAB AFL Under-18 All-Star match between Team Rioli and Team McLean. We've got a pretty even game on our hands now. Team Rioli had the best in the first quarter and Team McLean in the second quarter. We just found out during the break that two of the players, Josiah Minor and Shane Inkamala from Papunya down there in Central Australia, have never been on a plane before and never been to Darwin. So wouldn't this be an exciting moment for them tonight, Shannon?
Yeah, one of the beauties of NT Thunder, I guess, is, you know, the players that we can bring together from far and wide. You don't just have the guys based in Darwin and Alice, which is sort of seen as your central hub. You've got your guys, from Papunya, you know, the guys from Groot Island, Tiwi Islands, Elko Islands, Elliot down near Tennant Creek. So it's great to see those guys are coming together, and we actually did see that for Team McLean. The guys that maybe haven't spent as much time together from those remote regions really starting to get an understanding of the way each other plays and fought their way back into the game.
So we're away again. Blocking free kick in the ruck against Braxton Armat. Hollenby gets a hand pass around the back to Lake. Oh, coming in off the wing. It's strongly tackled.
Holtfitz.
Yeah, Holtfitz did really well there. Lake didn't see him in his lateral vision, obviously, and play on was the call though, and ball's worked its way forward, and some more strong tackling in there. Ball won't come loose, and we'll have a ball up just outside of the forward 50 for Team Rioli. So Hollenby up high, and another blocking free kick against Armat. Obviously he's got a technique issue there that he's going to have to work on, and O'Connell receives this one and drives the ball deep inside forward 50. Joel Jeffrey underneath this one, got his hands to it, couldn't take the mark, tries to kick off the ground now, but players diving in and wrapping that one up, and we'll have a ball up again just inside the field of play at full forward for Team Rioli. Ned Stevens up high, got his hands to the ball, but only as far as Leroy Jones, who hand passed it forward, and now they're working their way out. That's a nice kick out of defence and marked there by Ryan Moo. He plays on straight away. And Josiah Minor in the play there. Gets the ball forward. But Mikey Coleman
good tackle
is tackled. That's Minor again in the action. And the ball's towed forward. Foster a chance here. Fumbles, but he's still in the contest and kicks it off the ground cleverly. Comes across here now. Tyson Woods around the corner. But Sandy Brock got across, double-fisted it into the post. Might have had an opportunity to take the mark, but took the safety option and conceded the behind. So Mishai Woolagarang on the end of this one, kicks short, doesn't hit the target. Brody Lake picks up, and he's tackled by Harry Williams. Hand pass comes in, and Leroy Jones. But O'Connell in there, he's worried out of that one. Hand pass comes in again. Moo doing some work in there, and eventually the ball's hacked out of defence, and Cantilla takes a good mark against two opponents there overhead, and now looking to play on quickly, and finds Cooper, who's been everywhere in the first half. Nathaniel Cooper takes the mark now. His kick's not the best going forward, but on the ground they've got an opportunity. Tyler Louis with some strong work. And now a beautiful hands by Ned Stevens to Joel Jeffrey. Jason Dunstall wouldn't have liked that one, Shannon.
Joel will be hoping that one doesn't end up on the Chiefs dribble file, so we'll have to wait till Sunday to see if that pops up.
Yeah, had space in front of him and went the dribble kick and got it all wrong and dribbled out of bounds. Anyway, they've still got the ball locked in their forward half, and an opportunity. Stevens gets the hit out. Cooper's underneath this one, but plenty of pressure around him. The ball's locked in underneath, and we'll have another ball up.
Been impressed with Ned Stevens in the ruck, Shannon, and he's a pretty good basketballer from memory as well, I think. He might get that jump from there.
Yeah, him and his brother Joel, I believe, are some good local basketball.
Brandon
nice
Rusker.
Yeah, so that was Ned Stevens again. Took the ball out of the ruck, got the hand pass out the back, and an excellent finish around the corner from Brandon Rusker.
Great goal. Well, as I said earlier, Brandon is the captain of his team tonight. He plays for the Southern Districts Football Club up here in the NTFL, where his family name is synonymous. His uncle Shannon is a premiership player and coach at Southern Districts, and just stood down this year actually. So they've got a new coach out there in Matt Kennard. But yeah, Brandon's got a really high work ethic. He's played NT Thunder under 18s and 16s, and played for NT Thunder, as you said before, Shannon. So great to see him get a goal. He's had a few niggly injuries, so it's good to see him getting in the game now.
Yep, another one at Thunder who, as he played a bit more footy last year with the seniors and the Neefle side, got better and better. And I remember there was a game in the wet. He set the tone for us early with his aggression at the ball, so that was good to see from a young fella in the team.
Raimu with that clearance for Team McLean. But some good hands across half-back. Peris gets the kick out here. Martin on the end of it, but couldn't take it. Quick hand pass across to Leroy Jones, but he loses the ball. Finishes in the hands of Brody Lake. He hand passes across to Rusker, who took his eyes off the ball and fumbled. Lake comes in again to help him out. Ball's forced out of Rusker's hands. Eventually comes back here to Kobe Russell, who kicks forward, and now looking to work into a bit of space. Davey hand passes back to Cooper, tries to tap it in front of him, but Jacob Long was awake to that and did really well, wrapping him up in the tackle and winning the free kick.
Shannon, Jacob Long's one you can talk about. I thought he had a breakout year in the Men's Premier League in the NTFL last season. Your thoughts?
Cousin of Jake, Anthony and Ben Long, who all spent time at AFL clubs, and nephew of the great Michael Long, who we all know is a legend of the game, known well around the country. And Jacob, with the 50 now, he'd be up there with his brother Jack Long as two best kicks at our club at St Mary's, and I'd love to see Jacob give his footy a bit more dedication, because he's one I definitely think, with his size, speed and technical ability, could play with his cousins and like his uncle did at the AFL level.
So ball on the ground here, and the hand pass comes out from Leroy Jones. Marley McGregor with some strong work running through, but again, contest over the ball. Jalen Clark gets wrapped up this time. Ball spills out, and there's Jacob Long again. Pretty cool. Gets the hand pass back inside. Oh, there's plenty of black jumpers around here.
4 on 1.
Yes, but eventually Marley McGregor gets the left footer out, but only as far as Cantilla, who again finds Nathaniel Cooper running inside 50. He loses control of it, but manages to get it back. Some clever footwork and spots up a teammate inside forward 50 all by himself, Peter Politis. So Cooper, although messed it up early, was good enough to recover and composed enough to find a teammate running forward.
Got a few viewers tuning in from interstate. A few of the guys getting ready for some finals footy in the hub there for Western Bulldogs. Their property manager, Jaden Shea, always comes up to St Mary's and looks after the boys with some Bulldogs gear. My brother Sebastian hasn't taken off his shorts, some Bulldog shorts all year, and Josh Dunkley's also tuning in with him. So, g'day, boys.
Well, that was a good goal by Peter Politis for his first goal of the game, and that takes the score to Team Rioli 7-8-50 to Team McLean 4-7-31. And Politis is from the Nightcliff Football Club, so another one of their promising juniors coming through the ranks, Stu.
Yeah, just followed the play well, read it and made space forward, and had confidence that his teammate Nathaniel Cooper could win the ball and find him forward. So and then had the set shot and finished it really nicely.
Of course, Nightcliff, the reigning premiers in the NTFL, and as I said before, just 1 week away from starting again this season, as they're trying to work out
666.
The 666 rule. Yes,
been a long time between games of footy up here, so don't blame the boys for being a bit rusty on that one.
Probably why we've got a massive crowd down there, Shannon. It's packed. Friday night footy's back, and we Territorians love our footy as the umpire balls it up at the 8-minute mark.
Stevens wins that hit out, and Team Rioli work it forward. Cooper again on the end of it, gets a hand pass over the top now, but picked up there by Quinn, and he clears, but it's all Team Rioli out wide. If Ned Stevens can get to it before it goes out of bounds, which he does, controls it now, strolls inside forward 50, kicks to the top of the goal square, worked underneath the ball there was Joel Jeffrey. No free kick, play on's the call. Cooper under plenty of pressure, got the hand pass. Jeffrey around the corner, kicks high, but that one's not coming back, and that'll stay out and out of bounds next to the behind post there. And Brock Reynolds will bring it back into play.
Well, Coach Jason Rowe will be a bit happier with the start of this quarter for Team Rioli. Shannon, I would think.
Yeah, good start by the boys early. Cooper, young Brodie Lake, Ned Stevens, and those sort of guys that you expect. They're playing some good footy. And another one worth mentioning, number 22 for Team Rioli, Deacon Braun's just going about his business, collecting the footy, and he's impressed me with his hardness at the ball and then also his ball use once he's got it. Yeah,
Deacon Braun, he's been in the Thunder system for a few years, always strong over the ball, and he found Politis again. Politis this time strays that one, and a minor score only.
So almost at the 10-minute mark now, with Team Rioli 7-9-51 leading Team McLean 4-7-31. So 20-point ball game.
Michael Cooper running out of defence for Team McLean. But the numbers with Team Rioli there, picked up by Jamie Jones, but he was tackled, got the hand pass over the top. Free kicks paid, but play on's the call. Ball goes inside 50, and Tyson Woods in there looking to pounce on this one, but again Brodie Lake working hard in defence and running the ball out with a hand pass give and receive, and Cantilla over the top this time, and Matt coming in. Gets a hand pass forward, but Cantilla's in there again for Team Rioli. Some good work there by Costa Green. Gets a hand pass back inside. Ruska trips over, but manages to get a hand on the ball and then punch it forward. And kick forward here by Alonzo Nelson. Down towards half forward. Tyrell Louis again keeps the ball in play cleverly. Hand passes over the top. Contest in there, and the ball's wrapped up near the boundary line. Holt Fitz at the bottom of that one, wrapped up by Politis.
Liam Holt Fitz, they claim him at Nightcliff, but he's actually the mayor of Tennant Creek, I think. He's been fantastic export from Tennant Creek, and he loves going back there. So another remote talent, and as we know, he won the Cheney medal in the grand final for Nightcliff.
Free kick's been found here at half back for Team McLean. It's Stuart Hodgson kicks the ball inside, but that's ill-directed, and Bo O'Connell chops it off just outside forward 50. He's looking for his mate Joel Jeffrey. The kick is beautiful to Jeffrey on the lead, and Jeffrey didn't have to break stride, took it on the chest, and he marks about 35 out directly in front. Distance won't be a problem, and he should be able to slot this one for his third.
Yeah, as you said, he kicked 2 goals early, Shannon. What would you like to see from him here?
Yeah, just to get another goal and get that confidence back up. Bit of a quiet spell at the moment for Joel, but that's probably because Tyrell Louis, a good mate of his and a former teammate's doing a good job on him. So hopefully he'll kick this one and we can see a bit more of the Joel Jeffrey we know, and see how he goes here. Yep.
Straight through.
No problem whatsoever, and that's his third goal on the board, and after Team McLean pegged back to get within 8 points at half-time, the scoring's been all with Team Rioli in this quarter. They've kicked the 3 goals that have been scored, and have just broken it all apart a little bit again. But Bo O'Connell there, beautiful use of the ball, took his time, remained composed, and then knew who he wanted to hit, and Jeffrey got some space on the lead and hit him beautifully.
We talked a little bit about it before, the makeup of today's teams. Just to clarify for everyone watching at home, the Rioli team are all players who are part of the 2020 Kazali's NT Thunder Academy in under-19, while the McLean team are the younger players who are part of the 2020 Kazali's NT Thunder Academy, as well as a couple of mature age players up to the age of 23, the likes of Jalen Clark and that who you see running out there as we see the umpire clear the space to give a free kick to Team Rioli, Stu.
Yeah, that's the third ruck infringement against Braxton Arm at this quarter, so umpires are obviously seeing something that he's doing wrong and jumping into his opponent rather than at the ball. Obviously, they're not liking it. Anyway, the ball's worked out of defence here, and Kobe Russell was involved in a couple of hand passes, but Brandon Rusker couldn't find him as he was running past on that one, went out of bounds, and a boundary throw in. So it's Armat and Hollenby. The ball comes forward. Some good work in there. Jalen Clark gets a hand pass forward. Picked up there by Leroy Jones. Goes back to Anthony Raymond, who kicks down the line. Chopping in there was Antonio James. Spilt the mark and gave Team McLean the opportunity to go forward. Or dinky hand pass over the top by Josiah Minor, but didn't find his teammate. Some good work there by Quinn. Gets a hand pass across to James McLaughlin, and they work the ball forward, but getting underneath this one is Zach Hartley back there for Team Rioli. Plays on out wide and finds Sandy Brock. Brock goes around the wing where Ned Stevens is waiting on the end of this one, but ball on the ground and under pressure gets forced over the boundary line for a throw-in. Just in front of the scoreboard out there, and the NAB signage on the outer side of the ground.
Just a bit of info through from one of our viewers tuning in. Cyril Rioli, father of Hawks legend Cyril Rioli, just letting me know that a few of the boys from Alice, Josiah Minor and Channing Kamala, play in the under-18s grand final for Papunya in the morning, and their opponents are the Yuendamu Magpies, who Tyson Woods will be playing for. Josiah and Shane will then double up in the afternoon in the Div 1 grand final for Papunya in the community grand finals down in Alice Springs. So 3 games of footy in a couple of days. A fair effort from these boys.
How good is
couple
that?
of plane trips up and back from Alice.
They must be on the 7 a.m. flight. Well, a big shout out and thank you to Cyril Rioli, who we all know up here is a legend himself. Cyril's dad was inducted as well into the AFL-NT Hall of Fame last year, and yeah, not only is he a football legend, he's a great bloke as well. So hello to Cyril and Dana down there in Alice Springs.
So, flying through there was Mishai Woolagarang for Team Rioli. Brody Lake in everything again. Good hands there, and Cooper takes a bounce, it slides away from him, regathers, he's under plenty of pressure, gets it back to Lake again. He dodges one tackle, gets a hand pass over the top to Cooper. Long hand pass vision inside, good vision, good use of the ball. Vision. And Woolagarang sees a teammate free at centre half forward, and that's Tyrell Martin. So really good use of the ball under pressure down by the boundary line here. No panic, worked it out, and that hand pass over the top from Nathaniel Cooper Shannon just really broke the play up and got it out of the congestion and able to find young Tyrell Martin at centre half forward. He's gone back about 50 metres for his run up for this kick. So,
bit of Ben Brown.
Wasn't that slick football though, Shannon, just then?
Yeah, Lake and young Cooper there, they've been pretty electrifying so far. I reckon Brody Lake with his super fitness will be one who comes into the game as it wears on, and we've seen Cooper start so far, hopefully with a bit more space opening up as the players wear down. He'll give us a bit more to be excited about. He certainly has already.
Well, big brother Justin, how many premierships has he played for St Mary's?
Three or four.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
think he was back at pre-season training after spending some time away a few weeks ago, which is exciting for St Mary's fans.
Yeah, very similar to Nathaniel, very electrifying around the goals, and similar size to Nathaniel. They're very small, but you wouldn't know about it the way they play. It doesn't seem to be an issue. Wow.
Joel
Jeffrey with the lead. Got his hands to it, but couldn't take the mark.
Wow. I think he's hurt himself too. Hopefully not seriously. He's just come down a bit hard.
Coming from a long way up, so hopefully he's not too sore.
In the meantime,
landed on his hip or something.
Team McLean working the ball out of here, but chopping it off. Antonio James read that ball really well, and I think he's just cramped out there, isn't he, Joel Jeffrey? So Jones bringing the ball out of defence, and Alan Davey takes the mark, sees a teammate in Ned Stevens loose in the pocket. He kicks towards goal.
That's a great goal.
Do you think he was having a shot there, Shannon? There was a big bloke in the goal square. But,
I reckon he was hedging his bets between the big fella in the goal square, his fellow ruckman, and the big sticks. And luckily for Ned, is that his third?
Yeah, that's his third goal.
Probably his best one for the night. And straight back to the centre for the ruck. So really good goal.
He makes it look effortless, Ned, doesn't he? He's got a lot of time and presence about him. So 18 and a half minute mark. Team Rioli 9-9-63 lead. Team McLean 4-7-31 after that goal from Ned Stevens, his third goal of the night, Stu.
Yeah, terrific young kid. I was saying in the break that he actually played for Thunder Seniors in the last game that they ever played over at Aspley, and he was only a really young kid at the time and accounted for himself pretty well. But Joel Jeffrey's up on his feet and looks like he's okay, just stretching out a bit, and he's going to be back in the action when the ball goes forward. It looks like it's going to now. In fact, it's coming into his area. Tyrell Louis first there and gathers the ball, ducks back around, switches across dangerously, looking for his teammate there in Brock Reynolds, but he's outnumbered, picked up by Davey. Davey makes some room, swings it across his body, but misses to the near side. So.
Well, Joel Jeffrey does take those hangers. I've seen him take a few of those, doesn't he, Shannon, in the NTFL season?
One of the best marks I've ever seen, Joel. Marks the ball at the highest point, not one to take too many chest marks, and considering the conditions we get up here most nights of footy, to be marking the ball up that high and overhead's a very good effort, and he does it quite regularly up here.
Bit like yourself, Shan. Bit of air Rioli.
If I'm lucky to get in the air under my toes, I'll take it.
So ball's coming back in for Team Rioli. It's Rusker who's marked at centre half forward, and there's a lead there that's ignored. He's going to go back and Braxton marking the mark, but that looks about a couple of metres in front of where he marked it, but he might get away with it.
I like the white socks tonight on the Team McLean team.
Yeah.
Bit of Real Madrid about it, the white socks, yeah.
You do love your soccer, don't you, mate?
Yep.
So Rusker now kicks it down into the middle of the goal square, off hands over the back and into the goal post, and a minus score again. So margin sneaks out a bit more. Jacob Long brings it in with a kick out this side to Tyrell Louis, and he marks in front of Tyrell Martin. Louis chips it back in to Jacob Long. He's looking to switch to the outer side of the ground, and the kick was pretty good but went through the hands there of Mikey Coleman, and gives the opportunity for Team Rioli to come back in, but it's chopped off by Jacob Long, kicks it out wide and slips out of the hands of Quinn and over the boundary line for a throw in.
Probably the only thing stopping Jacob Long from being the best kicker at St Mary's is just that consistency. His brother Jack, love watching him get the footy in training or in games. You know he's going to hit someone on the chest and makes it look effortless, but that's, years of kicking a footy. If Jacob can get that level of consistency, I reckon he might get his brother Jack for the title of best kicker at the club. So hopefully, if he stays at it, he'll get his brother Jack.
Jack's won 5 premierships for St Mary's, Shannon?
Yeah, 4 or 5. Him and my brother Ben coming through the junior ranks. I think they went 2 or 3 years undefeated.
Yep.
Won plenty of junior flags, and then came up in the seniors and won some there.
Oh, dangerous hand pass there, and Josiah Minor with a bit of magic in the goal square managed to tap it over onto his left foot and put it through, and really exciting for him. He's kicked a couple of goals tonight now. First time in Darwin, as we said before. First time on a plane coming up here, and he's really impressed with the work he's done, and he's looked a likely type for sure.
I reckon the roof will be going off in Papunya, wherever they're watching it, and just so excited to see their boys on the big stage here in Darwin, and what a great celebration and a great smile from him there, Shannon.
Yeah, hopefully he'll continue this form for the 2 grand finals that he's in on the weekend. So hopefully we can follow his weekend and see how he goes after tonight.
Wouldn't that be amazing? Well, at the 23-minute mark, Team Rioli 9-11-65 lead. Team McLean 5-7-37 after that goal from Josiah Minor.
James McLaughlin in off the wing with some good work there. Evaded a couple and got the hand pass across. Ball goes in long. Here he is again. Is he around the corner? But just off. No, it was Tyson Woods this time. Or Inkamala, was it? But, so a couple of promising forward entries late in the quarter. A little bit too much too late, but they're hanging in the contest and giving us a spectacle to watch, that's for sure. Deacon Braun brings it out of defence. Tyrell Louis overruns it on the first occasion, but backs up and gets a hand pass over to Holt Fitz. Back in the hands of Louis. He swung around in the tackle, but composed enough to find Jacob Long, who chips it in here to Sean Foster. Foster runs around the player on the mark and kicks deep inside forward 50. Oh, spilled off the chest there. Kick around the corner. There's a couple of yellow jumpers out there and sitting underneath it.
Inkamala again.
It was Shane Inkamala, yeah. So he took that one on the chest under a bit of pressure, and he'll go back and have a shot at goal as we count down towards the end of this third quarter. But it'd be nice if he could get himself a goal and get on the scoreboard for Team McLean. So kicks on the way now, but unfortunately just missed it to the right. So another opportunity missed, and it's brought in again. And Cantilla's on the end of this one, spills the mark, and it rolls over the boundary line. We'll have a boundary throw in, and that'll be just about the end of it for this quarter, I would think. And there's the siren. So, yeah, we were as far as the contest goes, it was a close game at half time after Team McLean had fought their way back, but Team Rioli a bit stronger in that quarter, kicked the first 4 goals of the quarter and 4-1 for the quarter, so they've stretched that lead out again, Liz.
Yeah, well, like you said, it was a 27-point to 11-point turnaround there for Team Rioli. Shannon, who did you see in the better players that quarter?
Cooper once again looked really good for the Team Rioli. Brodie Lake was solid. Young Davey, Alvin Davey Jr. had some good moments there for Team Rioli. Papunya boys at the end there. Inkamala and Minor could have got them a couple of goals to get them a bit closer. They looked good. Young Jacob Long, Tyrell Louis just showed a bit of composure there towards the end to set that 450 entry up. And I think if those guys with some Premier League experience for Team McLean can get their hands on the footy a bit more, it'll help, especially the remote guys who might give you that bit of flair, bit of razzle-dazzle. If those guys that have played some footy in town and at the Premier League level and national level with Thunder, they might be able to sort of steady the ship, and hopefully those remote guys will get them over the line. Yeah,
that's right. Well, as we watch Cyril Rioli there go into the team huddle with Team Rioli, we'll go to the 3-quarter time break, 9-11-65 to 5-9-39. We'll see you just in a couple of minutes. Well, welcome back to TIO Stadium for the final quarter of the NAB AFL Under-18 All-Star match between Team Rioli and Team McLean here in Darwin. It's been an exciting game, and we were talking a little bit before about some of the remote boys, Josiah Minor and Shane Inkamala, who've come from Papunya. I've got a bit more intel. This is a great story that keeps developing, Shannon and Stu. As we said, they've never been on a plane before or been to Darwin, but they got here and they went straight to Casarina today for new hairdos, and they love the buffet breakfast. And as we said, they're both playing in community grand finals on Sunday. But when Tommy Dutton went to pick them up, he's the AFL&T remote manager down there, all they had was their socks, their slides and their Papunya footy jumper. Shannon, how good's that?
Just one of the great things about top end footy is the guys we get access to, and giving them an opportunity to play in a game like tonight. Probably before the season was started, they might not have got the chance to showcase their talents nationally, but now they're probably going to go home to Papunya tomorrow with a Rockstars reception when they get there.
We might have to get Tommy Dutton down there to take some photos for us, Stu, as the game gets back underway for the final quarter.
So the ball's worked its way down to half forward for Team Rioli, working hard on the ground again, Nathaniel Cooper. But it's Team McLean trying to work it out. Cooper's in there again, working hard. Ball gets shovelled out, and Ryan Moo with some quick hands out of the pack. Handball's flung over the head there. Working on the ground is Tyrell Martin. He's wrapped up in the tackle. So a bit of a scrappy start to the final quarter here. Free kick's been picked out, and hopefully this will open things up a bit and we'll get the ball moving.
A few of those guys with that senior NTFL experience there, Ryan Moo, Jalen Clark and Harry Williams involved in the play for the Team McLean, so this is exactly what they need to get back into the game.
Shane Inkamala, yeah, used his body well there and held his ground, took the mark. Now drives the ball in. Holt Fitz at the back of the pack, picks up, he can't control it, he's still in there. It's toe poked away from him. Tackle comes on, and holding the ball, free kick is found, and it's a free kick back there to Elijah Kelly.
Good defence there. We got excited because we've seen Liam Holt Fitz kick them time and time again, haven't we, Shannon?
Yeah, he can, around goals, he's one of the best guys to have with the footy in hand, and left foot, right foot doesn't bother him.
Kobe Russell in the back pocket for Team Rioli. Drives the ball outside, defensive 50. Tyson Woods gets his hands on the ball, taps it forward, in there over the top, but the ball's stripped away from him. Hand pass from Jack Peris in there. Didn't find his teammates. Some strong work running through. Keeps the ball in front of himself and toes it forward. Now cleanly picked up there by Mishai Woolagarang. Gave it across to Bo O'Connell, who drives the ball forward. Some good defensive work by Leroy Jones, but then he was tackled. Ball spilled out, and Brodie Lake is rewarded for that tackle. He kicks the ball inside. His teammate thought he heard a call from behind. It lands in the hands of Joel Jeffrey, who sees a player free at the top of the goal square. Hand pass over the top, and it's Cooper on the end of this one. Finishes off with a goal. So some pretty slick work down there. Good vision by Joel Jeffrey. Good use of the ball to find a player over the back by himself, and unselfish there as they work the ball through the hands into the goal square for Cooper to finish.
Probably the simplest thing Cooper's had to do all night, get a handball over the top there by Paris, who was well within his rights to go back and have a shot after being set up by Joel Jeffrey, but saw Cooper in space and thought, you've worked pretty hard tonight, let's give you a nice little treat. And a goal in the square is always good to run onto, Stu.
Yeah, well, even on that one, he's obviously done the work, done the running work to get there and get on the end of it. So, he's been really impressive tonight.
So 3-minute mark. Team Rioli 10-11-71, lead Team McLean 5-9-39.
Jalen Clark for Team McLean. Hand pass comes across. Marley McGregor drives it forward, goes over the back. Some good use of the body. A quick kick around the corner. It's that man Josiah Minor again, but just offline, unfortunately. And a minor score. So the ball being brought in by Sandy Brock now for Team Rioli. Kicks that into space out in front of players running onto it. Harry Williams in there against Zach Hartley, and it's bundled over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Once again, just those guys with that NTFL Premier League experience for Team McLean that are going to be the ones that are going to have to build and allow those guys from the remote areas with that bit of flair to come into the game and hopefully be a bit of icing on the cake.
Cantilla with a quick kick out of there. And Rusker on the end of this one, but he's beaten to the ball. Jalen Clark with a bit of juggling and then a kick out of the air. Harry Williams, his kick smothered. Punched forward by Marley McGregor. Tyson Woods on the end of this. Ball's taken out of his hands. Quick kick out, comes out towards the boundary line and just goes over the boundary line. So unfortunate there for Antonio James, but under pressure as he kicked the ball. And Brock Reynolds will take the free kick and drive Team McLean back forward over the back. Ball falls into the hands of their Minor, a quick kick, and again a Minor score. But he's been in everything. He's had plenty of shots on goal. He's kicked a couple, but kicked a few points as well. But he's looked pretty exciting up forward, and as the game's worn on, he's obviously looked more comfortable in the environment.
Team McLean need to just capitalise on a bit of this early forward entry dominance that they're getting at the moment before the game gets too far gone.
Ned Stevens used the body well and won the ball over the back. Hand pass to Cooper. He was looking for his teammate. He was looking to interchange at that time. I think he's missed the interchange gate, but I'm sure that won't cause him any problems. And we've got a boundary throw in.
I think if some of the AFL clubs aren't interested in young Cooper, I reckon some of the NFL clubs, if they're watching this, some of the footwork, some of the evasive stuff he's done, wouldn't be out of place running around in an NFL kit over in the States, I reckon, selling a bit of candy, a bit of footwork like that.
Absolutely, and such great dedication to travel up for the game. And you only need to look at Elijah Kelly, who's number 25 for Team Rioli. He travelled 8.5 hours by road from Largemanu. We know Liam Patrick used to do that for us at NT Thunder, Shannon, and what a fantastic effort to come up here to Darwin tonight and do that.
And he's playing quite well as Kelly. He's impressed me at fullback. Probably hasn't had as much to do with Team Rioli being quite dominant and him being down back, but every time he's had a chance, he's done something really good, especially some of his defensive chase efforts. They've been really good. Absolutely.
There's so much talent there out in our remote communities, and it actually gives me goosebumps sometimes when you watch the things that these guys can do, as we see a bit of a high tackle there, but the umpire couldn't see it.
Well, I think Cantilla ploughed in with his head, really. It was a bit dangerous, but anyway, nothing. Everyone's all right, fortunately, and play goes on with the ball up. Scramble for the ball again, and umpire will come in and reset again. Getting a bit physical in the ruck work. This time the free kick goes against Hollamby. And, claiming the mark there. Has that gone far enough? Probably not. Play on's the call. Tackle's made, and now the ball spills out. Brody Lake with a bit of class in there, picks up, makes some space, runs forward, hits up Joel Jeffrey on the lead again, and that mark's been paid. So Tyrell Louis has been right on his shoulder all night, but Jeffrey's been good enough to get his hands on a few. He's looked inboard this time, and the ball's being run out of defence now. Matt gets it over to Clark. Clark hand passes to Matt, who's run forward down the outer wing. His kick inside, disappointing in the end, and chopped off back there by Zach Hartley.
All the guys for Team McLean were on the outside there, and Braxton just got that kick off the side of his foot back into all the Team Rioli players who are on the inside of their man trailing. So rebound opportunity here for Team Rioli.
Shanton Ladd goes short. The mark's spilt there by Mishai Woolagarain, but he butters up, gets the kick inside, but it's chopped off by Marley McGregor. He goes short here and finds James Quinn. Quinn plays on straight away to the outer side, and he finds Josiah Minor out on this wing. Another 50-metre penalty here, and Josiah Minor is keen to get on with it, which he has every right to do. Running down the ground, and
he's got
just
his
outside
mate down
50.
there, Inkamala, looking to get on.
He has, and Inkamala's got a bit of space if he can find him, actually, but it's probably gone a bit deep now, and Josiah's saying, I'm going to have a ping at this. He's gone the barrel a couple of times before. I wonder if he'll try it again here now. So he swings out and didn't quite get hold of that one, but he's got a fair bit on it, and almost fell into the lap there of Sean Foster. Ball's on. Oh, here he is, Inkamala on the left, but it's gone straight across the face of goal, and now the chance for Team Rioli to run it out.
Oh, that's dangerous.
That kick's missed the target, and now running through is Cooper with a kick on the run and hit the goal post.
It didn't. Elijah Kelly had shepherded it through, he thought, for a goal too. So good teamwork there by Elijah, as we see the score go to 10-11-71 to 5-12-42. Team Rioli leading here almost at the 10-minute mark of the final quarter at TIO Stadium in Darwin.
Brandon Rusker made some space, but the kick went over his head. But Wollongong was good enough to butter up and get the hand pass over. Good strong work coming through there by Hollamby. And Quinn has tackled with the ball now. Quick kick forward by Alonzo Nelson to centre half forward. Ned Stevens working there with Braxton Armat. Oh, good work by Tyrell Martin, who picks up, wheels around, runs in towards goal, but his kick's offline, and that's going out of bounds, bounces out of bounds in the right forward pocket. Goal square was open, but he just couldn't get the kick on the line.
Been impressed with Michai Wollongong, young fella down there from West Alice Springs Football Club.
He has, yeah, he has. He's shown a bit, and he gets where the ball is and gets his hands on it, and he's used it pretty well as well. So the ruck throw in, taken out of the ruck down there by Ned Stevens, gets his hand pass out. Oh, Tyrell Martin tackled with the ball and it spilt loose, and it's Anthony Raymond who wins that free kick. Switches it to the grandstand side. Sean Foster standing under that, but he's under plenty of pressure. And eventually, ball comes clear, and it's Brody Lake again on the end of this. Drives it in towards the top of the goal square. Goes over the back. Has anyone had their hand on that? Yes, they have. Touch through for a minor score. So, quick kick in, and it's Brock Reynolds who tries to find his teammate further out. Tap forward, but to no avail. Anthony Raymond brings it back through the middle, where Harry Williams is under plenty of pressure from a couple of Team Rioli opponents, but they've managed to work it forward now, and running through half forward with a bounce is Costa Green. He kicks the ball in deep. Punch goes over the back. Oh, some clever work down there, but unfortunately for Team McLean, Shane Inkamala just couldn't get the space to get his foot to the ball, but he used his body beautifully to...
I thought he was going to do the Shan Rioli soccer scissor kick out of the air there for a minute.
Oh, I thought he might even go the bicycle kick and go one better, but not to be.
Oh, that would have been exciting. It's a really great night of football here, though, in Darwin. There's a huge crowd sitting below us in the grandstand, and we love our footy up here in the top end, and it's just fantastic to see all this talent on display, and particularly loving the remote guys that have come in for the game tonight.
Oh, kick across, wow. Looking for Cooper, but it went over the back, and James McLaughlin was sitting there. It fell in his lap, and he'll go back and take a shot at goal from directly in front, about 35 metres out.
Oh, he's another one from Central Australia. He plays for Pioneer, and he's been in the Red Tails program. So let's see if James can go back and kick that goal.
So kick looks pretty... Oh, just drifted. Just dragged it to the left and hit the post again. So only the one goal in this last quarter so far, but there's been plenty of scores, just not the major scores that we're looking for.
You can see that lack of footy that a lot of these young guys have had is certainly coming into the game now. A few guys with a bit of cramp, maybe some of the remote guys or the guys in the central regions might have played a bit more footy, so a bit of match fitness might see them finish the game a bit stronger than maybe some of our Darwin-based guys who might not have that match fitness that some of the remote guys will have.
It's another 50-metre penalty.
Tyson Woods it is, and Brody Lake trying to pick up his opponent. Just got too far away from him and infringed on the protected zone. So Tyson Woods here to kick a goal for Team McLean from just at the top of the goal square. Kicks on the way, no problem whatsoever. So their first goal for the quarter and Tyson's first for the match.
So another one from Papania. Shan, won't they be loving this live stream brought to us by AFL NTV tonight?
Yeah, hopefully we can, like we said before, follow these guys as they progress through the weekend in their grand finals. But they've certainly done themselves proud tonight, and like we said before, they probably wouldn't have got this opportunity had the national carnival gone ahead, because maybe they weren't able to access the opportunities that our guys based in Darwin have had tonight and so far this year. But really good, just shows the talent that we've got sitting around in our communities. And like we said, some of them first time hopping on a plane, first time to Darwin. If we can get a bit more time into these sort of players, we've seen what they can do. So good result for footy up here in the top end.
Yeah, absolutely. So about 14 and a half minutes into the last quarter, Team Rioli 10-12-72 lead Team McLean 6-14. 50 Stu as we see the ball back in the forward line.
Kamala on the end of that entry from Ryan Moog. Got high in there, couldn't take the mark. The ball comes in and safety first there from Antonio James. Tapped it over for a behind, and they'll reset and restart from the defensive goal square.
Yeah, Antonio's another one. Love watching him in the NTFL. He plays for the Darwin Buffaloes. Really good young talent. Shannon, you would have seen a fair bit of him, and that's he's actually,
he's been impressive tonight, Antonio. He hasn't seemed too flustered. Another one might have snuck under the radar, but he's just accumulated as the night's gone on, and unlucky there to give up a mark. And is that in Kamala? So, see how we go here. The Papania boys are lining
Shane Kamala, I think Antonio James was just looking to find the body then, and just lost him a bit, and Kamala ducked around and got in front and took the mark on the chest. So here's his opportunity to kick his goal, and unfortunately he's missed it again. So yeah, great thrill for, like these kids coming from the desert. The conditions are a lot different up here. They would never played in it, and they've been really impressive. And playing on what is an AFL ground, it must be just fantastic for them.
Yeah, they probably haven't even played in front of a grandstand before, except for the Bowden McAdam stand, maybe in Alice Springs. So it's a pretty big adjustment, especially if all you had this morning was your slides and your footy jumper, isn't it, Stu?
Yeah, but obviously pretty resilient and pretty confident in their abilities. And there's a strong mark taken down forward by Fitzy, Liam Holt-Fitz, at the top of the goal square, and he should have no problem slotting this one. Hasn't kicked a goal tonight so far, so he'd be keen to get on the scoreboard.
They can force a few more turnovers. Team McLean, I reckon they can give themselves a chance. There's still just under 10 minutes to go. We know that, especially the remote type players, they can turn it on and turn the game on its head in 4 or 5 minutes. So they've got enough time. If they get this goal, gets it, back to under 3 goals, and they're getting the opportunity, so they've just got to finish them off now.
Yeah, well, 1 goal 7 they've scored this quarter so far, so really let themselves down a bit in front of goal. And again here, that's
put the moz in.
Terrible miss.
Yeah.
From a player of Liam's ability, that's a disappointing result. Anyway, the ball comes back in, and over the top, Harry Williams. Bo O'Connell working hard in there. Williams again. Ryan Move runs into his teammate, chips the kick across, didn't go far enough, and play on's the call. Alonzo Nelson gets the kick out wide. Jacob Long's going to be first here, and does well to run past his opponent there. Chips it in short, taken there by Minor. Kick comes high in towards the top of the goal square, over the back of the pack. Sandy Brock tidies up for Team Rioli, drives it out again. Long's there, Minor's there. It's got some space, kicks it into the top of the goal square, but punched away by
defense.
Sandy Brock.
Well done, Sandy Brock.
Sean Foster, a bit of candy there, runs over the ball, taps it back between his legs, and then gets caught holding the ball. So
great effort by Brock there.
Yeah.
Tried to pull out a party trick there, did Foster, and Brock read it and stuck the tackle and gets a 50 as a bit of reward for that.
Yeah, well, Sandy plays for Palmerston Magpies in the NTFL. Shannon, you would have played a little bit of footy against him, I reckon.
Yeah, another one. Good size here. They've got him down for 198, so for someone to stick a tackle like that, being that size, is really impressive. And yeah, he has played a fair bit of senior footy up here, and one who certainly has some big raps on him coming out of Palmerston and the State Academy. So hopefully he can progress his footy as he goes on.
Deacon Braun wins the ball in and under, gets the hand pass over the top. Peter Politis there looked to be legged, and he'll take the free kick just forward of centre on the outer side of the ground. Chips it inside 50, and not the best looking kick, but it's found his teammate. Lake gets a hand pass across. Kick around the corner here by Shanton Ladd. Oh, falls in the goal square. Kick off the ground is a goal.
Martin?
I think it is Tyrell Martin. He's
been dangerous tonight. He's got a lot of zip about him.
There was a couple of Team McLean players back there, but he just snuck in under their guard, got his toe to the ball, and here's another one, I reckon, Shannon, who's improved as the game's gone on, and is really working strongly towards the end of the game.
Yeah, in the second half with a bit more space, and probably allows him to use his speed a bit more, which is an obvious trait of his. He's done a few good runs and a few good chases.
Yeah, well, Tyrell, he's from the Hearts Range remote community, which is 300 k's northeast of Alice Springs, but he's got family connections across Central Australia. So another one who's been part of the Red Tails Right Tracks program and was in line to play NT Thunder Academy before COVID. And he plays in the CAFL with South Alice. He plays for the Plenty Highway and Tea Tree. So another one who might be on the draft radar. So got a very high work rate from what we've been told, as we see the umpire just trying to sort the centre square out and get the game restarted at the 20-minute mark. Team Rioli 11-12, 78 lead. Team McLean 6-17, 53.
So Team McLean work it forward, and getting under this one is Josiah Minor once again. And he's really grown into this game. He kicks long now towards the goal square. This could go right all the way over the top, and it does. And doesn't he love it? That one from outside 50. He's kicked his third goal, and he's been a revelation in this game tonight. So just fantastic to see these young fellas getting the opportunity and showing us what they can do on the footy field.
He made it clear that he was going to have a shot. He took a couple of deep breaths, told the boys, I'm going for it, and he's shown he's got a bit of range on that left foot of his, and he might even have some new boots on as well, I reckon, if he only rocked up with his slides and socks and footy jumper. So look at that, from the centre square almost. One bounce and in. He's certainly impressive. He's got a new fan in me tonight, and I reckon all of us up here and a lot of people watching. Yeah,
I think Anthony Vallejo's a fan too. Just went and shook his hand, tapped him on the back and said, what are you doing this wet season?
Well, Minor, I think that's his third major, Shan. You see what I did there?
That was a good one.
This is my dad joke for the day.
Yep. Love a good dad joke.
Brady Lake with another clearance, goes down towards half forward here, and ball's caught in underneath, and we'll have a ball up. So only a few minutes left in the game. It's been really entertaining game, some fantastic footy. Sean Foster with a bit of magic out of the ruck there, got the hand pass across to Jacob Long. He kicks long down here, and again it's Minor who takes the contested mark. Hand passes inside this time to running Ryan Moo. Moo goes long towards full forward. Through the hands there and over the back, and another chance. But a really good tackle down there.
Mikey Coleman, good tackle.
Yeah, Mikey Coleman. It looked like a real scoring opportunity for Team McLean, but he was really strong in that tackle and prevented it from coming out.
Mikey had a great grand final for St Mary's in the under-18s grand final last season, so good to see him playing well tonight in this quarter.
One of the biggest improvers at our club in our junior ranks is Mikey.
Absolutely.
A couple of years ago you weren't sure how he was going to progress, but you can see he's put his time into his craft, and he's become one of our good young players, and might be in line for a few senior opportunities this year, and his family are massive supporters of St Mary's Football Club.
He's also put his hand up to coach the under-12s, I think, this week.
I did see that, and I saw that you're coaching the under-10s. Is that right, Liz?
Yeah, look out. I'm going to dominate under-10s this season, but I just think that's sensational for an under-18 player to coach a junior team, and I know you've done it, Shannon, but I just think it speaks volumes about the quality of the person that does that. So well done to Mikey Coleman.
High bowling forward. Clash of teammates there.
I think the
ball was taken cleanly, but probably didn't travel far enough, and play on was the call. But they're both on their feet, no damage done, and we'll have a ball up.
Look at the hair there on the bench. It's sensational.
Is that the fresh hairdos of the boys?
Imagine going to Kaz and asking for that hairdo. Kaz, for those watching at home, is Kaz Arena, which is the local shopping centre up here in Darwin, where everything happens.
So Shanton lad working the ball in front of him, gets a hand pass forward now, and but chopped off there. But the numbers with Team Rioli as they work the ball inside forward 50 once again over the back. Cooper with some pace off the ground.
Jeffrey.
Kicks to the advantage of Joel Jeffrey, who misses it, but Cooper's back in there again. He evades a couple of tackles, has a kick on the outside of the foot, hits the post. Deserved better, but his work rate's been phenomenal tonight, and he was rewarded with a goal earlier, and certainly been one of the better players on the ground, Shannon.
Great to see that sort of work rate from a boy from a remote community who, bit of a reputation, the remote boys, of being, maybe a bit of a flash in the pan, but he certainly hasn't. He's been super consistent tonight, Cooper.
Well, that actually evens up the scoring shots, fellas. So despite the margin, they've both had 24 scoring shots, both teams.
So again, James McLaughlin gets it inboard to Harry Williams. His kick slides off the side of the boot. Hand pass just missed the target there, and Jalen Clark's tackled as the siren goes. And that's the end of the game. But as we said before, really entertaining game. And Jalen Clark reckons he's a chance from about 60 out here.
The Rolls Royce, Shannon.
Yeah,
that's his nickname.
He's a good mate of a few mates of mine, the McMurtry boys and Hagan Wigney. They'll be watching this one with a lot of interest, and I'm sure they'll be recording it on Snapchat, and they'll let Jalen know how he goes about it.
Look out, Jalen.
Yeah, well,
no.
It's expected result there, but look, terrific game of footy tonight. Liz, really enjoyed it. I hope the viewers at home have as well. Yeah,
it was fantastic, and as I said, a credit to AFL and Team Media team that have brought it to us tonight. Everyone that's watched has probably enjoyed it, as have we. The final score, Team Rioli 11-13-79 to Team McLean 7-17-59, so 29 points. Shannon, just a really quick summary from you and what you enjoyed the most.
Really impressive. We knew who our sort of standout players were going to be heading into the game. Lake, Joel Jeffrey, Bo O'Connell, those sort of guys, and really good to see the guys from the remote towns. They would have met their teammates this morning when they got into town, like the Papunya boys who've been raving about all night, and someone like Sean Foster, who was super impressive in the ruck. So really good to see the talent we've got out there, and really good that we can showcase it on a national level. And if anything, it's just showing what's out there for the territory, and get up here and support these boys. And really good to see they're all attached. A lot of our remote guys are attached to NGA academy clubs around in the AFL, so hopefully they can get that support, because they can do it better than most guys. I was impressed.
Absolutely, and thank you to you for your special comments, and thank you to you, Stu. Just quickly, enjoyed the game? Yeah,
really loved the game tonight, and as I said before, great to have footy back. And for those that are watching around the country, NTFL Round 1 starts next week, so there's footy on from Friday night all the way through, so get your footy fix all summer watching us and listening to us. We love to bring it to you. Where else would you rather be but Darwin? We're very blessed to live here, especially at this time, and we're thinking of everyone down south and sending a big hello. We're going to sign off now. My name's Liz Cruz. A big thank you to Shannon Rioli and Stu Davis for joining me in the commentary box tonight. We hope you all enjoyed the NAB AFL All-Stars game here in Darwin at TIO Stadium.